You are listening to The Vocal Technologist. Spoken tech for your ears.
Welcome to Vocal Technologist. It's Product Thursdays, and our mission, as always, is to cut through the digital stream, find those essential nuggets of insight in the world of product. Today, we're really zeroing in on what makes a product, thrive and survive in this incredibly fast-paced market. We'll touch on everything from the big picture, the strategic foresight, right down to the nitty-gritty of daily execution. Okay, let's unpack this first big topic. AI and commerce. It feels like we're watching a really high-stakes game play out, and the core idea seems to be that Google's biggest risk isn't necessarily losing all of search, but specifically losing those super valuable commerce-related queries to, well, AI-driven competitors. It's more than just a trend, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely. It feels like a fundamental shift. And what's fascinating here is digging into why companies like Amazon and Shopify seem, well, better positioned right now. For a genuinely AI-driven buying experience to really work, you need a few critical pieces in place. It's not simple. We're talking cleaner, much more consistent data for starters. That's huge. Then, unified APIs, basically getting all your different systems talking the same language seamlessly. Plus, you need robust user memory. The AI has to actually remember preferences, context, not just the last thing someone clicked on. And finally, embedded feedback loops. So the AI is constantly learning and refining its understanding. When you connect all that to the bigger picture, well, user expectations are changing fast. People don't just want search results anymore. They expect, seamless, intuitive, really personalized buying journeys. So product teams building these future commerce platforms, they absolutely have to nail these foundational elements to deliver what AI is promising.
That sounds like a massive undertaking, especially for more established companies. I mean, where do product managers even start tackling cleaner data or unified APIs when they're probably dealing with layers and layers of legacy systems?
Yeah, it's definitely a monumental challenge. No easy answers there. Often it means starting small. Pick a really focused area where you can achieve those foundational improvements, get the data pristine, unify the APIs for just that segment. Then you can demonstrate the value, build the case for that bigger architectural investment, and scale it out from there. It's about proving it first.
Makes sense. Start small, prove value. Okay. But, beneath these huge macro trends, there's this other challenge. Quieter, maybe. Something a lot of product teams seem to overlook, and it can really undermine things silently. Here's where it gets really interesting. I'm talking about design debt. It's a bit like a slow leak. Doesn't seem like much at first, but over time it damages the product performance and, crucially, a product manager's reputation.
You've hit on something critical there. Design debt really should be treated with the same seriousness as technical debt. Tech debt is the hidden cost of coding shortcuts. Design debt is the cost of UX shortcuts. Those inconsistencies, the flows that were good enough but never really optimized. And it's destructive because it just erodes the user experience bit by painful bit, leads to frustration, churn, all the bad stuff. Tackling it effectively means taking concrete steps. First, you've got to audit your existing flows, find out exactly where the debt is. Then, measure its impact. How is it affecting user behavior, business metrics? And this is key, reframe fixing it. It's not just cleanup, it's delivering tangible value gains for the product, for the user. Frame it that way. And finally, you need to integrate these cleanup efforts right into your regular feature work. Don't treat it as a separate, low-priority thing, because it's not just about protecting the user experience, it's really about protecting your credibility, your career as a PM.
That reframing piece is powerful value gain, not just fixing. I like that. Is there a common blind spot, though? Do teams often mistake design debt for just, moving fast or good enough for now?
Oh, frequently, yes. I think the biggest blind spot is failing to see the cumulative effect. Like, one inconsistent button seems tiny, right? Who cares? But multiply that by dozens of small inconsistencies across a whole user journey, suddenly the whole experience feels sloppy, frustrating, maybe even untrustworthy. It's that silent killer aspect because the damage is often diffuse, spread out, until suddenly it's a really big problem.
Right, it just creeps up on you. Okay, so what does this all mean for daily product work? Let's talk about the product requirements document, the PRD. Seems basic, maybe. But a strong PRD feels absolutely foundational, doesn't it? It needs to tie directly back to the overall strategy, clearly define what measurable success actually looks like, and crucially, incorporate real customer feedback, all while staying, lean and collaborative, not some massive bloated document nobody reads.
Exactly. That's a critical connection because a well-crafted, lean PRD translates directly into how users experience the product right from the start, which this raises an important question. Have you heard of the first-minute test?
The first-minute test. Tell me more.
It's simple, but quite profound. The idea is, if your users don't gain certainty, trust, and curiosity within the first 60 seconds of using your product, well, the odds are they probably won't stick around. They won't come back. And that clear, value-driven PRD we were just talking about, that's your blueprint for passing this test. It ensures that the core value, the reason the product exists, is baked right into that crucial initial experience. It helps you hook users from literally the first minute.
Wow, 60 seconds. That feels
Yeah.
intense, especially for more complex products like maybe enterprise software with a steeper learning curve. Does the test still apply, or do they get a bit more leeway?
That's a fair question. I'd argue the principle still holds, even for complex tools. The way certainty, trust, and curiosity manifest might be different, sure. Maybe it's certainty that this complex tool can solve their critical, painful problem. Maybe it's trust in the system's underlying reliability, even if they don't grasp it all yet. Or curiosity about the powerful features they glimpse. But that initial experience, that first minute, still needs to rapidly demonstrate its core promise. The cues might differ, but the need is the same.
Okay, that makes sense. It's about delivering that initial spark tailored to the product type. We've covered a lot of ground today here on Vocal Technologists. From the big strategic plays in AI commerce and who might have the edge, down to the insidious impact of design debt and why tackling it matters for your product and your career, and then tying it all back to the fundamentals, a solid PRD driving that critical first impression.
Absolutely. And maybe as a final thought for everyone listening, think about the urgency of that first-minute test. Considering that 60-second window, what's maybe one specific element, just one thing, in your product's onboarding or initial user flow that you could perhaps reassess this week, specifically aiming to boost that initial certainty, trust, or curiosity for your users? Just something to ponder as you head back into your work.
Spoken Tech for your ears.